So I screwed up in a big, famous show in New York City for a badass clown. And what I learned from it is available to you anywhere and everywhere. I want you to learn from my mistakes. So I'm going to bear with me here for a moment and I'm going to actually explain exactly why. And then I'm going to show you what you can do differently. And at the end, I'll give you a resource or two to be able to move you forward with your own business, okay? Because this has everything to do with expressing yourself. It has everything to do with being able to say what you truly mean, and you limit yourself. Now, when you limit yourself, you are getting in your own way. Not only that, but you are disappointing the people who are interested in paying attention to something that is badass. Yo, Joe, my man, Joe Nicasio. Here he is, the legend. Good morning to you. It's so nice to see you. I haven't heard from you in a little while. I do wish you all the very best. So, on behalf of Joe and me and everybody else, someone else is saying I live on Mars. I'm guessing that that might be a fellow named Bob. And in fact, if it is Bob, he does live on Mars. He's not lying to you. So, the clown in question, his name is Slava Polunin. He has a show called Snow Show. You can look it up. Snow Show is a very well-known show. Slava has made a really fine living as one of the world's foremost currently still living clowns on the planet. His work has influenced most of the people who, if you know any clowns or if you have seen actual bona fide clown work, this guy is one of the people that has influenced these other people. Slava's work that you have seen is Googleable and viewable in some of the very early Cirque du Soleil shows because they employed him to be able to create unbelievably cool stuff for them. And more on that some other time. His snow show was in town. Yes, Clown College, Joe says. It's like that Simpsons thing where the guy, Homer says, I'm going to go back to college. And Bart says, cool, barber or clown? Okay, let's get back to the issue. I had just gotten back to New York City and Slava was there, and I knew Slava. We had performed in many different venues and events and award-winning things in various places. My company took the big prize at the Edinburgh Festival in Edinburgh, Scotland. He was there. We'd traveled around. We knew each other from many different touring places all around Europe. I was looking for a job, and his gig was in an off-Broadway theater, the Union Square Theater. It's a very cool place. So his large gig was installed there for an extended run. So I went down during the day, went backstage and knocked on the door and waited for someone to come on over and went downstairs and said hi to Slava. And his family was there. Some other people I had known were there. And he gave me coffee. We had some vodka. We hung out and talked for a while. And he doesn't speak English great. He speaks English slowly. Not a problem. We've always communicated great. We have mutual respect for each other. And he's a very lovely man. And I said, look, I'm back in town. I need a job. You have a slot? And he says, yeah, you can be one of the clowns in this thing. And sometimes it is who you know. And of course, there is timing involved. But I got a job in an off-Broadway full-time, installation there, and it was very nice. Okay. Come back that night, watch the show twice, pay attention to the show, learn the show, and then 2 days later, go and see him. And then he taught me how to put on the makeup, gave me the costumes, got me the thing going, and I was starting to do the show. And then I came to him after 2 days doing the show, and I said, how's it going?" And he said, "Slow, you slow, slow." And I said, "Okay." So he wants me to do it slower. So obviously, I'm a little too fast in my reactions, along with the other clowns that are in this thing. There's one there's one pair of clowns that are separate from a whole bunch of others that all look and move like each other, and they are the sort of Greek chorus of clowns in the show. So I had to be slower to move, not faster than the other group of green clowns that I was supposed to move like. Good. Okay, got it. Go back, do it again. There we are. I'm doing the show. Off Broadway, Union Square Theater, Slava's Snow Show, wonderful thing, having a good experience, trying to move slowly like the other clowns. Come to him afterwards, and he says, "Slow, slow, slow." And I'm thinking, okay, fuck, gotta slow it up. So I do. And I'm trying to keep up with the action. I'm trying to go as slow as the other clowns. And I thought I was, like when I would see them doing stuff, I would go slower. He kept giving me that advice. Slow, Pasha, slow. And I was employed there for 3 weeks. It was great. 3 weeks doing Slava's show. It's a pleasure. Very nice. He took off. He had to go to Europe for some other shows, or I don't know where it was going. He was going back. He was going home. He lives in France. It took me many years to realize what he was saying. He didn't I'm positive of this now. I haven't spoken to him in a long time. I just, haven't seen him in a long time. I now understand what it is that he was looking for. He didn't hire me knowing who I am, knowing the level of professionalism that I can bring to my stuff. He did not hire me to behave like the other green clowns and do it slowly like they are. He hired me to throw a monkey wrench into the entire process so that I would actually do this unbelievably super slow-mo version of what everybody else was doing, and I would be a unique super slow-mo clown in his show, and he would get to see what it looked like. That's what he was looking for from me. He was not looking for just another cookie cutter version of those other green clowns to just be there like the other clowns. But I thought that that was my job. It wasn't. He was asking me to give him my magical ability to be uniquely different than all the others with his one instruction: go super slow. And I didn't do that. I gave him another clown like what the other clowns were doing, thinking that he wanted someone to fit into that show. He did not. He wanted me with all my badassery to take everything that was in that show right then and be the super slow-mo version that was unlike anything else and would serve as a foil to, as a juxtaposition for all of the other action in that show. I know that now. I'm positive that if I had that opportunity, hey, Scat, if I had that opportunity again, I would actually bring all of the slow-mo, not caring about any of the other situations that are there, in order to provide a new perspective of my very own, standing apart from everyone else, standing apart from all of the other stuff that was already there, not blending in. By virtue of the costumes and the passion and the overall context, I would be a welcome participant, but I would not be just one of the crew that's already doing the stuff that that crew is already doing. Does this make sense to you? Do you see where I'm taking this? Because I'm about to spell it out for you. You are creating some kind of business, or maybe the people who are seeing this are artists, because I teach artists how to become better at being artists. Either way, it applies directly. There is a sea, an ocean, a universe of sameness out there, all doing the same old regular crap. They are all saying the scripted templates. And I'm telling you this, I believe this with my soul. I have seen this because I've been working in this online space. The amount of formulaic, scripted, templated, standardized, normalized, generic, boring ass, sorry excuse for quote unquote authenticity that is so lackluster and mediocre and indeed cookie cutter makes the generic herd of droners out there look, sound, feel, taste, sample just like all the rest. And if and when you get that your uniqueness has to march to its own beat, to its own drummer, and you actually employ someone like me, and I'm not the only one, but someone like me who understands how to parse what you're doing and then instruct, inform, and direct and guide you where you need to be so that you move to your own drummer yourself, you will set yourself apart. And if you don't, at your own peril, you will vanish into the crowd and you will disappoint all of the people who are dearly looking for the extra, the other, the fresh, and the truly, authentically badass, masterful, informative, influential, authoritative leaders that are doing it unlike anyone else. That's what this is about. I know this is a slightly longer story. I wanted to give you the details of everything that I not only saw, but I now know. What I failed to understand then. Now, is it a problem? No. We all learn when we learn. The neat thing is that I have done an enormous amount of learning over decades of teaching, performing, traveling, and creating my own stuff on my own terms, my own way for since 1987, so that I can actually shorten your learning curve. That's where this shit comes in to play. Is this a pitch to join me? Sort of. I don't know you well enough. I don't know if I'll like you and would choose to work with you. That's up to me. But if I can galvanize your understanding to not remain amidst the herd of droners doing the same generic scripted crap and expecting someone to be impressed with it other than your mommy, then I have served a little bit of a purpose here. I will place my information down below so that you can see this. You can access that. If you want to have a conversation, we can. This is not for tire kickers. I don't waste my time. I don't waste your time. And I don't waste my time. However, for the people who understand what it is to search for, to reach for the ways to unleash massive, badass, profound ways of expressing things, like what Joe said. We are here. Let your uniqueness shine. That's what this is about. This is where this stuff is. Wake up. You can do it differently. Don't believe anybody who says, all you have to do is follow my scripted templates. You want a shortcut? Life doesn't work that way. You want to actually become a leader that people pay attention to, no matter how big your audience is. You want to inspire people and motivate people? You got to tap into something far deeper than someone's copy-paste suggestion of a formula. Delusional crapola that gets people going from 0 to 60 in no time at all with, that doesn't work that way. What does work is not buying into the horseshit, finding people who make a lot of sense, and finding people who don't sugarcoat the fact that the brilliance is in the work that comes from life scars, experiential learning, and an ability to be able to teach others clearly and cleverly. Cool. Joe. Hey, Bob. We changed the world. We evolved the world's individuals. I think that's a typo. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to go back to my thesaurus on that one. Joe, Paul will help you break out of your shell. Joe, you're too kind, my fine friend. You're not so bad yourself. Masterful business stuff. Reveal your soul. Sugar frosted flakes, Bob. Truly from Mars. My delightful fine friends. Good to see you. Speak soon. All the best. I mean that. Truly.